January 8, 1945. Hill 616, near Kaisersberg, France. The air is a lethal 12 degrees Fahrenheit, and the snow is knee-deep, churned into a frozen slush of mud and ice. Above this white hell, the sky is screaming. 3 German MG-42 machine guns, known as Hitler's buzzsaw for their terrifying 1,200 rounds per minute firing rate, are systematically cutting the winter air into ribbons. Below them, pinned against the base of a 40-degree slope, is an American platoon. They are trapped in a killing box. To move forward is suicide. To stay still is to wait for the German artillery to find their range and erase them from the earth. Among these men is a 24-year-old technical sergeant named Russell Dunham. He has survived 3 campaigns. He has no plans to die today. But as he looks at the snow turning red around his men, he realizes that if someone doesn't do the impossible, no one is walking off this hill alive. Dunham doesn't wait for an order. He doesn't ask for permission. He looks at his dark olive-drab uniform, a perfect bullseye against the blinding white landscape, and he makes a choice that will lead to one of the most incredible solo assaults in the history of warfare. Dunham crawls back to the company position and finds a white mattress cover. He tears it open, pulling it over his uniform like a ghostly robe. It is crude, makeshift camouflage, but it's all he has. Then, he begins to load. He shoves 12 30-round carbine magazines into every available pocket. He hooks a dozen Mark II fragmentation grenades to his belt. He jams more grenades into his suspenders and even through the buttonholes of his jacket. When he stands up, he is a walking arsenal, carrying 72 pounds of explosives and lead on top of his rifle. He doesn't say a word to his sergeant. He simply turns and begins to crawl upward, a white ghost moving through a world of fire. The first 75 yards take 18 agonizing minutes. Every time the German machine guns sweep the sector, Dunham presses his face into the freezing snow, praying the white fabric of his mattress cover holds the illusion. The weight of the grenades is crushing. The rifle sling cuts into his shoulder like a knife. He is 10 yards from the first German timber bunker. Inside are 3 men. They are focused on the valley below, waiting for the Americans to break. They never see the ghost rise from the snow. Dunham charges. The Germans spot him at the last second. The MG-42 barrel swings toward him, but Dunham is faster. At 6 yards, the gun erupts. A German rifle bullet tears across Dunham's back, carving a 10-inch gash from his shoulder to his spine. The impact is so violent it spins him 360 degrees and throws him 15 yards back down the slope. He lands face down in the red-stained snow. The pain is a blinding white flash. He can feel the wound pulling open with every ragged breath he takes. He is dying. Or at least, he should be. 5 seconds pass. A German egg grenade thuds into the snow just 2 feet from his head. In a moment of pure, adrenaline-fueled instinct, Dunham kicks it away with his boot. The explosion is so close the concussion lifts him off the ground. And then, something impossible happens. Russell Dunham gets back up. He charges the first nest again, his M1 carbine spitting lead. He is inside the gun's minimum arc. He fires a 3-round burst into the gunner's chest. He kills the assistant gunner. The 3rd German throws his hands up, screaming in terror. Dunham, his uniform now soaked in his own blood, grabs the German by the collar and hurls him down the hill toward the American lines. 1 nest down. 2 to go. The 2nd machine gun position is 50 yards away. They've seen what happened to the first nest. They are ready. They open fire at 40 yards, kicking up geysers of snow. Dunham is losing blood fast. His vision is starting to tunnel. He can feel the life draining out of the gash in his back, but he keeps crawling. At 25 yards, he rises to one knee, yanks the pins on 2 grenades, and counts the seconds. He hurls them in a high, perfect arc. A double detonation shatters the timber bunker. The machine gun goes silent. Dunham moves through the smoke, firing his carbine at the supporting riflemen scrambling from their foxholes. He hits 3. The rest flee into the trees. But the 3rd nest is the deadliest. It sits at the very top of the hill, overlooking the entire battlefield. The Germans there have been watching this blood-red ghost climb toward them for 12 minutes. They have their sights set. They have rifle grenades. They have a clear field of fire. Dunham looks up. The barrel of the MG-42 is pointed directly at his heart. He is out of cover. He is leaving a trail of blood in the snow that looks like a road. He has 9 magazines and 8 grenades left. He begins the final climb. Every few seconds, the machine gun walks rounds across the snow, searching for him. Dunham moves in the gaps. 5 yards. Stop. Wait for the traverse. 3 yards. The pain in his back has shifted from a sharp sting to a deep, grinding ache that vibrates through his entire torso. At 15 yards, he stops crawling. He gathers his legs under him, timing the bursts of the German gun. He counts. 1, 2, 3. He lunges to his feet, a blood-soaked specter screaming into the wind. He pulls 2 more grenades. At 10 yards, he lobs them both. One hits the sandbags, the second goes straight through the firing slit. The explosion is massive, throwing logs and sandbags into the freezing air. The machine gun is blown off its mount. Dunham pushes through the wreckage, scanning for survivors. He kills the last gunner. Then, a German rifleman appears from a hidden foxhole just 20 feet away. He fires. The bullet misses Dunham's ear by 3 inches. Dunham spins and fires back, hitting the German in the throat. Suddenly, the hill is silent. Russell Dunham stands on the summit, breathing the thin, cold air. He has fired 175 rounds. He has thrown 11 grenades. 9 Germans are dead. 7 are wounded. 2 are prisoners. And 120 American soldiers are no longer pinned down. Below him, he sees his brother, Ralph, advancing with the rest of Company I. The hill belongs to the Americans. Dunham sits down in the snow, his mattress cover now entirely red from his neck to his knees. He waits for the medics, not knowing that his war is only beginning. The medics pack his 10-inch wound with sulfa powder and wrap it tight. They tell him he's going to the rear. They tell him he's done. But Russell Dunham is a man made of different stuff. 5 days later, with 43 stitches still holding his back together, he walks out of the clearing station and reports back for duty. His unit is down to 18 men. They need him. They are moving toward a small town called Holzwer, near the German border. On January 22, the situation turns catastrophic. German Tiger and Panther tanks emerge from the morning fog, their engines roaring like thunder. Company I has no armor. Their bazookas bounce off the heavy German steel. Surrounded and outgunned, the order is given to surrender. 147 Americans walk out with their hands up. But not Dunham. He slips out the back of a farmhouse and runs toward a group of outbuildings. He finds a storage shed filled with barrels. One is filled with sauerkraut, fermented cabbage in a thick, acidic brine. As German boots crunch on the frozen ground outside, Dunham climbs into the barrel. He sinks into the slimy, cold cabbage up to his neck and pulls the lid over his head. The smell is suffocating. The acidic brine seeps into the open wound on his back, burning like fire. He bites his tongue to keep from screaming as Germans enter the room, kicking the barrels and searching for survivors. They miss him by inches. Dunham spends 13 hours in that barrel. The temperature drops to 8 degrees. The sauerkraut brine freezes into slush around his body. He is a block of ice. At dawn, he finally climbs out, his uniform frozen stiff, his fingers white with frostbite. He is 30 miles behind enemy lines. He is alone. He has no rifle. As he steps outside to relieve himself, 2 German soldiers appear. They capture him at gunpoint. They search his jacket and find a pack of American cigarettes. In their greed, they begin to argue over who gets the tobacco, failing to check the leather holster tucked under Dunham's right arm. They throw him into the back of a Kubelwagen and begin driving toward a German command post. The Germans think they have a broken, frozen prisoner. They are wrong. As the driver leaves the vehicle to report in at a stone chateau, Dunham sees his opening. One guard is smoking, the other has his eyes closed. Dunham pulls his hidden Colt 1911. 2 shots. 2 dead Germans. He leaps from the car and sprints for the treeline as bullets from the chateau whistle past his head. For 3 days, Russell Dunham wanders through the frozen wilderness of occupied France. He has no food. His toes are turning black from third-degree frostbite. He is a walking corpse, fueled only by the steady rumble of American artillery in the distance. He follows the sound of the big guns, walking until his feet are numb stumps. On the 3rd day, he reaches the Ill River. He sees a bridge. He sees American engineers. He is wearing a German jacket for warmth, and the engineers level their rifles at him. Dunham screams his name, his rank, and his unit. He collapses on the bridge, his journey finally over. On April 23, 1945, in the very stadium in Nuremberg where the Nazis once held their massive rallies, General Alexander Patch places the Medal of Honor around Russell Dunham's neck. The general looks him in the eye and tells him that in 30 years of service, he has never seen one man turn the tide of a battle through sheer courage alone. Russell Dunham went home to Illinois. He married, he worked, and he helped other veterans for 32 years. He never called himself a hero. He said he was just doing his job. He said any man in his platoon would have done the same. But we know the truth. We know about the mattress cover. We know about the sauerkraut barrel. We know about the man who refused to stop until the hill was taken. If this story moved you, if you believe the heroism of men like Russell Dunham should never be forgotten, do me a huge favor and hit that like button right now. It is the only way we can make sure these stories reach the next generation. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we are bringing you forgotten history every single day. And before you go, drop a comment below. Tell us where you are watching from, the US, the UK, Canada, or anywhere else in the world. We want to know who is standing with us to keep these memories alive. Tell us if you have a veteran in your family. We read every single comment. Thank you for watching, and thank you for remembering Russell Dunham.